More second stimulus packages heat up, but which ones apply to you if you're an employee, and which ones apply to you if you're an independent contractor? Hey everybody, this is LALATE. Thanks for tuning in for a second stimulus check and stimulus package update with new news about the stimulus programs that are being proposed nationwide. This is an update of second of three for today from LALATE that deals specifically with the classifications and which stimulus package is right for you. You know, there's a lot of stimulus packages out there, and no one is really taking the time to go through them and figure and delineate for you which ones are for you and which ones are not for you. And this one is going to do that for you. So if you're an employee, certain stimulus packages are right for you, and you need to focus on them as we give you these stimulus package updates in the coming weeks. But if you're an independent contractor, there's totally different types of programs that are out there that may apply to you. So let's get right to it. If you are an employee, that means like a W-2 that works for Macy's, that has an annual salary with Macy's, what type of stimulus packages should you be on the lookout? First, the second stimulus check is, of course, the number one priority. That's approximately $1,200. It's being proposed, and it is still up for vote in the Senate. We would expect a passage of that and that check being arriving somewhere in the month of July to August. But there are other proposals. There's still chatter of a $2,000 check every month for several months until the unemployment rate rises. This is irregardless of whether you are an employee or an independent contractor. Next, there are proposals for those of you who are employees but are essential workers. If you are an essential worker employee, there's a proposal to pay you $13 per hour additionally on top of your normal salary. Which of you would qualify and which wouldn't? It's really still up for debate, but this is really great news that all essential workers are of the topic of discussion to get an additional $13 an hour. Next, there's a proposal called the Portman Plan. The Portman Plan proposes to give you at least $400 per week additional on top of your W-2 salary, because it's concerned that the number of hours that you might be working now that you are no longer furloughed or now that you're back at work due to stay-at-home orders being lifted may still not provide you enough money. So there's concerns that you need additional stimulus as an employee, and that proposal is additional $400. The idea is not to keep you on unemployment that would drain state resources, but have the federal government, which can afford it, pay you an additional $400 per week. Then, if you are an employee but also a former student that still has student debts, there's a program for you as well. This is also part of the HEROES Act, currently in the House. It proposes to extend the repayment of student debts further into January. The currently interest and principal are being on moratorium until late July, but there's a proposal to extend the repayment of that into January, and another proposal to forgive certain student debts as well. A lot of great stuff there. So let's turn to independent contractors. Independent contractors, or people who own corporations or have their own LLC or incorporation. What type of things are out there that you should be on the lookout? So there's two types of things. First, there is straight stimulus package items. Second, there are grants. And third, there's loans. And before I get to them, I forgot one item that also applies for my employee viewers. That's called Explore America. It was detailed in the previous video on the second stimulus package today. There's a proposal to give you a credit of up to $4,000 for any travel, hotel, gas, or similar expenses you spend in traveling the United States for any purpose, whether it's leisure, visiting family, or for business. expend in the year 2020 to 2021. How does this work? It basically works that if you spent, let's say, $500 in traveling to visit your family over Thanksgiving, you could then deduct $250 of that off your taxes. So it could, and by doing that deduction, you could end up getting money back from the IRS at the end of the year. It proposes to give this program all the way until the end of next year, so it would be 2 tax years. All right, so let's get back to the independent contractors. Which programs can you apply for and which can you not? First, for grants, or free money, meaning money you don't have to repay. There's several. First, EIDL grant. This is $1,000 per employee, up to $10,000 if you have multiple employees. You apply at sba.gov. Next, the PPP loan forgiveness. You can apply for the PPP loan. You only have a few weeks left for it. And if forgiven, that money is free. You don't have to repay for it. Third, there is Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PUA. You apply for this at your state level. Again, this is free money. You don't have to repay for it. For any week that you're impacted, you could be paid at minimum about $700 per week. It's approximately $139 to $169 of your state benefits and $600 for the federal government from every week you're impacted from March to July, as the plane comes for the host of the show and take them on to Fantasy Island. So again, this is free money. Next, there's a lot of new grants that LALATE detailed this week. Grants that have been proposed for the African American community. There's a grant from Google. There's a grant from Facebook. Again, these are grants for people who cater to the African community or are self-employed African Americans, and this is free money. You don't have to repay. All right, so let's get to loan money. There's a lot of great loans out there, and they expand the whole gamut. First of all, there's the EIDL loan. It's 30 years, no interest or principal due the first year, 3.75 fixed interest rate. Second, the PPP loan, shorter time frame. Third, the Main Street Lending Program, which this channel detailed on Monday. It went live on Tuesday. It still has not been underwritten by banks, but it's a lot of money. They can give you up to starting at $250,000. Next, all those programs I just mentioned from Google and Facebook, they also are going to be offering loans as well. Next, there are microloans. Every city and county generally has these microloans, which aren't talking about a lot. We did a few videos on them here in Los Angeles. They're generally about $5,000 to $25,000. Sometimes they're grants, sometimes there's loans. So a lot of great stuff out there for you to consider when determining what type of stimulus package and stimulus amount of money you need. You need to figure out what's best for you. It's a mixture of both grant and loans. But let me answer some of your questions from yesterday before I get to some really fascinating economic news. As we enter heightened cases of COVID-19, one of the concerns is, should you keep extra money in your account that is debt, that is loan, but has no early repayment penalty? Remember, EIDL and the Main Street Lending Program have no early repayment penalty. A lot of viewers think you should. Amy McCarthy, what happened to mine? Crazy people are now applying, getting grants. I've been waiting since April 9th. This is EIDL. Paul Ryan, still reapplying. Robert Henson has supported this channel a lot. Thank you for supporting this channel. We love LALATE. Thank you. Sean, did everything I was advised to do applied for EIDL Monday? No contact. I guess I'm falling back in the hole. Don't worry about that. Watch our EIDL video. Mary B, thank you for hot off the press information. You're the best. Well, thank you, Mary B. Elmer, cases are rising rapidly. Seriously, good advice to keep money in your account and give it back if you don't need it. Yes. A lot of these programs, I'm going to say this very clearly, and I don't think I say it enough. A lot of these programs aren't going to be around forever. So if you think you might need the money, but you're unsure, you might want to get it now and then give it back if you don't need it. Because remember, once these programs are gone, they may not come back. A lot of viewers think the things are just there forever, and they aren't. So this is really good news. The money is there now. If you want it, go get it. Don't wait around. And when I mean go get it, I mean like right away. Thank you for all the hard work. I got my EIDL loan deposit today, 6/31. Great. Smart Dexter. Got an email verification and called to say, watch my bank account. Good. Entrepreneur. I'm looking to file for the Main Street Lending Program. My new bank, Navy Federal Credit Union. Great. Reza. It's been since May 28th. Approval $1,000 grant. Haven't received anything. Watch our EIDL video. Matthew, you are the one, LA brother. I'm so appreciative of your great offers. Help everyone during this need. You're upbeat and accurate and up to date. Reporting is so refreshing. That's weeks ago I switched from watching two other guys. We know who they are. And more interested in building their lists and views and side hustles. Yes. And one thing I want to make very clear for this channel, if you are new to this channel or you're an OG and you see I'm moving a lot of videos towards second stimulus, the purpose of our second stimulus check videos is to get money in your pocket. I'm not here to just read news. You can go read news on Forbes or CNBC. I'm not just here to read news or talk about flipping houses. That's really not the focus. My focus is getting money in your pocket. My focus is getting money in your pocket, whether you are a single mom working at Macy's or whether you're a sole practitioner or you're the business owner that has rent and liabilities due and you're worried about staying afloat. My hope is to get money in your pocket and tell you about the programs that are out there to get the money in the pocket. My only apology is that sometimes I'm announcing the things to you so fast that they haven't been underwritten, so a lot of you want to go apply within minutes after watching the video and asking for links, and I'm like, hey, they don't exist yet. They just were announced. So understand that's the focus of this channel. God bless you. Well, thank you. Michael Schickett, do you also need a Manchester scarf to adore those wonderful fun shirts that you do? I do need a Manchester United scarf. I have a shirt. Helen Sosa, I got my grant this morning. Great. Stephen Romero, I applied Monday. Not receiving an email. Watch our EIDL video today. Rashonda, a lot of people asking about, so there's a lot of people asking about, you applied for the EIDL Monday. Where is it? Where is it? I mean, have some patience now, folks. It's only been a few days. Grandma Ducky, emergency email came through mandatory masks in California. It's Gavin Newsom's new order that you're supposed to wear masks in public. It may not be followed by some jurisdictions, but this is really par for the course of what I'm talking about. COVID-19 cases are rising everywhere nearly, and it's really in this environment that you should ensure that you are fluid, that you are liquid, that you have enough debt being taken on in case you need it if there's another really bad hit from the virus. NCL suspended all cruises until September 30th, and the employees are struggling bad. I detailed that yesterday. By the way, if you ever need some LLA custom cups, I'll make them for you. Make them and sparkle. That sounds really nice. Michael Arletta, waiting for my reconsideration. Miguel the Bronx, thank you, LA, for the great advice. I will be holding on to my loan as long as possible as a safety net. Very well said. Miguel the Bronx is a longtime viewer, so he got his loan just recently, and he's following my advice, keeping that debt. William Roach, my bank BBVA told me I have to earn $10 million to get the Main Street Lending Program loan. Untrue. Bob Gabriel, always great updates. Thank you. Interceptor, fast money, fast information, great news, grants, and loans updates. Yes, we're covering all the financial instruments because I know some apply, some are interested, some viewers, and some aren't. Some viewers only want grants, some want grants and loans, some want just stimulus checks. So I'm trying to cover everything. If something really pisses you off, tell me. I will make a note. But so far, no negativity yet. And Tony Gallardo, I applied on Monday, no word. It's all this. How many days is Javita going to respond? Bert, I'm in Florida. The positives are coming in for testing testing. False positives are proven greater than 50%. I'm not going to debate tests. Jeff Hansen, awesome news. Thank you. Hu Young, thank you. God bless. Cancer free. Thank you. Yes, I am. And thank you for all the nice comments. I wish I could thank every one of you individually, but it was very, very kind what you all said. Paul Ryan, PMC is now telling me that there's one bank and banker in my area that specializes in the Main Street Lending Program. I'm trying to get in contact with that person so I can contact that banker. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when you have these unusual programs like the Main Street Lending Program, they're sometimes written very finite by one person in one area, one metropolitan area. It's not like every person down the street and their sister and brother is writing it. No. Robert Henson. So he's contacted Georgia. 2 hours later, documents to sign. Wow. Followed your instructions, contacted Ms. Loafer, supplied her with all the info. 2 hours, got the documents signed. So he has a 730 score. He's a longtime viewer of this channel, and he got his loan documents. I'm so excited for him. Mike Tran, received my loan but no grant. Watch our videos. Miguel the Bronx, keep up the good work. James got his $1,000 grant. Good. Joseph Dreamhouse, I live in Florida. This is true. The governor of Florida said something so mean. He said that because, I'm not going to read on camera. It is very mean. I just saw it. As you know, I do cold readings, but I can also skim ahead, and I saw it, and I'm like, I'm not reading that comment. Moon Goddess Massage. Thank you, LA. I do enjoy your videos. Well, thank you. Ryan says there's no scarf. No, there's no scarf. She's not in this video. Philip Twine. I applied when the portal was open for agriculture. I received $2,000. Congrats. Amanda. And Clancy, you're so cute as the stimulus check. I am not the stimulus check. Maybe that should be a shirt. I am not your stimulus check. I am not your working capital. But I appreciate the comment. I mean, you can put my face on the stimulus check, just so I'm not going to hold it up, but you can't put my face on a stimulus check. ATTIGK is going to go buy weapons and extra ammo with his stimulus check. Okay, thank you for sharing. Shane Turner, I applied for EID on Tuesday. Annette, how are you doing, LALATE? I don't qualify for things, but I still enjoy watching. I hope you qualify for something. Unemployment assistance as well. It's for employees. Heartfelt music, all this great information. Zuniga, I received a response. They're doing my processing the grant. Kim, more great info. If you can avoid a 401k distribution, try. Yes, yesterday's video talked about a new program for the IRS to deduct based upon emergency situation for COVID-19 that could be used by everyone. It was not a very well watched video. I think it was a little confusing. Anything with the IRS is a little confusing. It's confusing for me to explain it as well. Finally, there's some really interesting new economic data, and that economic data is about retail. There's all this chatter that retail's doing well. Well, malls are not doing well. I worry a lot if this crisis pans out. ICSC CEO Tom McKay. Our industry funds everything from the fire and the police to the local infrastructure. Malls and shopping centers across the country are $400 billion in local tax revenue, according to the International Council of Shopping Centers. But there's now new concerns that certain malls are really not getting enough foot traffic, and that the mall tenants, may not be able to pay the rent and may be leaving. There's a very big concern. Cool Springs Galleria, a CBL mall in Franklin, Tennessee, is a huge payer of taxes to the local government. Our malls, such as Traction, it drives our revenue significantly, says the local city administrator. It's so dependent on our sales taxes. So this is why all these stimulus packages are so important, because malls need to, the businesses in the malls, the retail operators need to ensure that they have their business. They can't go belly up, because when the tenant in the mall goes belly up, then the mall can go belly up. And when the mall goes belly up, the local jurisdiction that is so dependent on those tax revenues could be in big financial trouble. That's why all these second stimulus check updates are really great news, because it's trying to keep everyone liquid and fluid and away from default. If you have questions about today's second stimulus check and stimulus package, drop them in the comments below, and we may feature them in tomorrow's recording. As always, stay with LA for more.